My name is Carrie Allen, and I am a consultant pharmacist. I'm here to talk to you today about the 5 elements of a great med pass. If you pass meds, you know that there's a lot more than 5, but these are the 5 major basic areas that you should be concerned with when someone's watching you do a med pass, but also just on a day-to-day basis. Dignity and HIPAA. The MARs have to be covered every time you go to give a med, but sometimes we have to flag stuff to remind us. Most MARs on the left-hand side will have all the patient information, but on the right-hand side, it's just sort of the ends of sentences and those kind of things. So if you have to flag your MARs, flag them to the right and keep that MAR book covered so that patient information isn't showing. You want to cover notes. If you have a notebook that contains vitals, cover those up or keep them with you in a pocket. Blister packs or bottles, what you want to do is you want to cross out the prescription number, the name, anything that's traceable, especially if it's going to go in the trash. So, for example, we have here a bottle that has the prescription number crossed out with a Sharpie, and it's crossed out. Sometimes you can see through the Sharpies. We don't want you to be able to see through this. The doctor's name also crossed out, and the resident's name's crossed out. And some people think, well, why do I have to cross out the prescription number? Well, because you know what? I have the pharmacy number over here, and if I have the prescription number, it doesn't take too much checking to figure out who's on what med. So, and some people are interested in that. Most of us don't care about prying into others' lives, but some people do. So you can also rip this off and put it in the shred bin, but make sure that everything's covered up, and it goes the same way on blister packs. And that's before it goes in the trash. Some people will wait and have a whole stack, and then they'll put it in the trash later, but they'll leave it out where people can see. Do it the minute you need to throw that away. If you have a reorder stack of blister packs, don't leave them on the cart, even if they're turned upside down. Keep them in the cart or elsewhere so that people can't see the names and medications that people are on. Dignity. The resident needs privacy and respect. This is their home, and we are there to provide some service to them. So let's not do blood sugar checks or give insulin in the hall. I can't tell you how many times I've watched from afar and someone's pulling open someone's clothes to check down here, you know, and make sure that their blood sugar is okay, or doing finger sticks and there's blood everywhere. That it's privacy, it's dignity, it's infection control. Do that in a private area. If you're in a room, pull the curtain so people can't see you from the hall. Don't do blood pressures at the dinner table. There's privacy for vitals. Everybody doesn't need to know what everybody else's blood pressure is. Don't bring the med cart into the dining area. That helps to make it a less enjoyable experience for everyone. It makes it more industrial. It makes it more like a hospital. People need to relax and be able to enjoy their meals. You want to minimize the number of meds that are given with meals if at all possible. Sometimes you do have to bring meds into the room. Don't bring the cart into the room. And be quiet and discreet when you're telling people about their meds. Always identify yourself and why you're in a resident room or why you're coming up to a resident. Hello, my name is Carrie. If you already know the resident, hi, Mrs. Butcher, my name is Carrie. Hi, Mrs. Butcher, it's Carrie with your medications. Let them know what medications you're giving and answer any questions that the resident has. It's important that you know why you're giving each medication specific to the resident. So, for example, warfarin, which is a blood thinner. If you have a mechanical valve, or you have atrial fibrillation, or you've had a history of a DVT, we may look at that differently. We may observe the resident differently, and of course the lab values may be targeted differently. But if someone has a history of a DVT, and we know that, we know that's why they're getting warfarin, if they say to you when you go in to give any med at any time, you know, my leg is swollen and it hurts, you might think to yourself, oh, I need to go get the nurse. Or if you're the nurse, you might think to yourself, oh, we need to rule out a DVT. It's important to know why people are giving meds. And just so you know, I was an aerobics instructor for like 17 years or so, and we actually had to know what all the classes of meds were and what they could do to people, just in case someone fell down in the middle of class, or they had a question for us, why isn't my heart rate going up, or why do I feel dizzy? Well, are you on a beta blocker? So if an aerobics instructor can do it, nurses and med aides can do it, let me tell you.